This is Kevin and Heather Fritz.
Hey.
Hi.
They had a big idea about tiny houses. It began right after they were married.
We had this crazy idea that if we lived tiny, we would be able to save a lot of money and we would be able to build our dream. Our first home was an Edmonton city bus.
Wait, what? A bus?
This is where the bus was. So we pulled this city bus in kind of on an angle like this, built a big deck off the front and an awning for the outdoor kitchen.
It was a time of life that was simple and we loved it. We learned that you do not need a lot to live a full and meaningful life. We lived there in the country on the land that we had purchased from Kev's uncle while we built our home in the country.
So they set to work, building a bigger home and a bigger family.
Once we built our home and started to have a family, we knew next step was to build the gardens and to build the hobby farm. We started with chickens and then goats, and I love it. There's nothing like waking up in the morning and going down, collecting our own eggs, feeding those animals, seeing my kids connect with them. It's an opportunity to really teach our kids about sustainability. It's super meaningful.
We loved just being out on our property. This is our favorite place in the world, really. So this is where we want to spend our time. We wanted to be around our family more. We wanted to involve them more in what we do and not just to disappear in the morning.
They were considering axing their day jobs and building something of their own.
So you start looking at what could we do? Where could we make the greatest impact if we were to have our own company? And we're all about intentional living. And so we looked at the tiny house world and we thought, you know what? I think we have something to offer this industry.
So they took a big leap into a tiny world.
I'm not a huge fan of soft starts. So when we decided to start this, we decided we're going to start it full on.
So they went all in, with the hope that if you build it, they will come.
We just knew that okay, if we're gonna jump into this industry, we need to show what our vision is and what we're capable of. And the risk was that we're gonna build a tiny home and hopefully sell it at the end.
Talk is cheap. We had to prove what we could do and prove what we were capable of and what our vision was. And we built it with the confidence that somebody else might fall in love with it too.
And someone did. And their first tiny home was a big success.
It's been dubbed the Fritz.
We found out that our tiny home was nominated for Best Tiny House of 2020 by tinyhouse.com. What do you say?
What do you say?
We won, yeah, absolutely. So that's pretty exciting.
First place for their first tiny home. And every tiny house needs a tiny tour.
The washer dryer combo.
It's where you can hang your jacket,
So we just built the door right into the doors. Full-size fridge.
shoes at the bottom,
We can throw some storage in underneath. 20-inch propane range.
cell phone, keys.
Full-size soaker tub with the rain shower head. The queen-size bed. We're really proud of it.
You should be.
At the end of the day, we're about intentional living. Setting intention and setting value on who you are, what you love, what you want to invest in, and then creating a home that works with that.
If a tiny home is developed around an individual in a way that is efficient, they can live a big, full life in that home.
Heather and Kevin Fritz, helping people live large in tiny houses.